Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about what is sexual reproduction. So in this type of reproduction, first of all the gamete formation occurs, and these gametes can be made or found by either the same individual or by the different individual which are in opposite sex. One is male and second is female. When these gametes fuse, they will form a zygote, and from this zygote a new organism is developed. So it is an elaborate, complex and slow process as compared to asexual reproduction. Now just because in sexual reproduction the offspring is getting the gametes from two different individuals, so the offspring which is produced by the result of sexual reproduction, it is not identical to their parents as well as among themselves. Now when we observe different type of organism, their morphology, internal structure and physiology, it is too much different, but when we observe their sexual mode, surprisingly they are sharing a same type of pattern in them. That means whether they have a different type of structure, but their sexual mode of reproduction is having a same pattern. Now what features are common to these diverse organisms? Now first of all, each and every organism has to reach a specific stage of life that we call the maturity, and the period after which the organism is able to reproduce, we called it reproductive phase, and before this reproductive phase the animal having a juvenile phase. In plant, this juvenile phase is also called the vegetative phase, and this stage or this phase is of variable duration in different type of organisms. Now when we observe different type of plants, whether they are annual or biennial, so we can easily see the different type of stages like juvenile phase, reproductive phase and senescence phase. But when we are observing the perennial species, that means the species which last for many years, in this type of species there is no clear cut difference in these phases. Now in some plants a unusual flowering pattern or phenomena is occur or it's found. For example, in bamboo, it is producing the flower or it is flowering only after 50 to 100 years, only one time in this life. That means in bamboo it is producing the flower only in one time. After 50 to 100 years it produces lots of fruits, and after some time it will die. Similarly, another plant, Strobilanthes kuntiana, that we also call the Neela Kuranji, it flowers once in 12 years. In animals, after juvenile phase, there are some morphological and physiological change to achieve a active reproductive behavior, and this reproductive phase is also of variable duration in different organisms. Now the females of placental mammals, during the reproductive phase, they are getting a cyclic change in their ovaries, accessory ducts as well as hormones. In non-primate mammals like cow, sheep, rats, deer, dogs, tigers, etc., these cyclic changes during reproduction are called the estrous cycle. That means when these type of changes are occur in female's body at the time of sexual reproduction or sexual phase, in that time this type of cycle is known as the estrous cycle. And when we talk about the primates like monkey, apes and humans, it is called the menstrual cycle. That means in non-primates these type of cyclic change are known as estrous cycle, and in primates It is called the menstrual cycle. Now, many animals or mammals which are living in natural habitat or natural wild condition, these cyclic change or behavior is occur in a favorable season during their reproductive phase, and therefore they are called the seasonal breeders. That means they are only able to do the reproduction in a particular season, and that is why they are known as the seasonal breeders. But many other mammals are reproductively active in their complete life or in their complete reproductive phase, and these type of animals who are able to reproduce continuously, we call them continuous breeders. Now, when any organism is not able to do reproduction, that means their reproductive phase is completed. After that, we can say a particular organism is now enter in another phase that we call the senescence or old age. So there are some changes in their body like slow in metabolism. So during this last phase of lifespan, ultimately the old age leads to them at to death. That means when any organism is completing their reproductive phase, it will enter in a senescence or old age, and after the old age, organism become dead. Now, in both plants and animals, hormones are responsible for the transition between these three phases. Means, when any organism is reaching to juvenile phase, after that reproductive phase, and after that old age or senescence, so these three transitions can be occur only by the help of hormones. And when these hormones are interact with certain environmental factors, it will regulate the reproductive process and the associate behavior expression of the organism. That means when these hormones are interacting with the environment, only then any organism is able to express the sexual behavior. Now, events in sexual reproduction. So, after attaining a maturity, all sexually reproducing organisms have a same type of events and process, even though their structures which are involved in this sexual reproduction is indeed very different. Now, the events of sexual reproduction, though elaborate and complex, they are following a regular sequence. So, sexual reproduction is characterized by the fusion of male and female gametes. That means, first of all, the fusion of male and female gamete occurred, that we call the fertilization. From this fusion, zygote is formed, and after formation of zygote, embryogenesis occur. So, for convenience, we are classifying these sequential events into three different stages, namely the pre-fertilization event, fertilization event, and the post-fertilization event. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.